Welcome, deviant drivers, to another episode of A Drink with a Driver. We are back after Spa and what was it? Round six? Is that what we were
Yeah,
at?
that is round six on the eve of our finale in 2 weeks at Catalunya,
Catalunya.
where I ran out of fuel last time. Shh. And lost.
In the Porsche.
And it was in the Porsche. And I was talking shit right up to the finish line until we realized me and Bessa were going an extra lap. Oh, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome. Oh, all right. So let me pop up and do this thing. Nobody has seen this hoodie except for Arcane.
In me.
Well, and you, yes. We shot the podcast and we lost the whole thing, and it never made its debut. So my wife surprised me. She's got one of those nice little cricket making machines. She made me this, right, as a hoodie. Best part is, what is it, backwards? I think it's
Yeah.
backwards.
It's right
But
now.
there.
Now it says Junkie Eye, number 85.
Juki Hai Ehifai. Yeah, so now we have merch. We have merch. Um, so if you want one, the hoodies cost like 15 bucks, the stickers like $2, so they're $85 a piece.
That's right. Yeah.
So gotta
It's a good
gotta
deal.
cover the purse fetish that is going on in my house. And
Well,
also in yours.
evidently mine too.
So I'll break it off tonight with, since this is drink with a driver. And we are going, actually, I gotta give it the effect.
Ooh. Ooh, shake it up, shake it up.
The lid's not coming off. This is a whiskey sour, but you make it with grapefruit juice.
Okay.
So it's not as like acidic. And I got this nice fancy glass. We're going bougie tonight.
Nice. Me too.
Going bougie because my back is better. I was able to sit in my rig, which we need to talk about my rig. And yeah, the everything felt good yesterday.
You
It
have
was
a
a little
different
off.
background too. You're not in the normal plain white wall.
No,
You've got some interior decorating going.
yeah, I've got some greenery
Hmm.
here. There's some right there as well. We got one of those little, I can't say her name, otherwise she'll start talking to us. So we are in my wife's office, got a little star. I didn't win the star for this last race, so I'll cover it up like that. But yeah, what are you drinking?
Well, I figured I'd change it up tonight and have Coors Light.
It could be just apple juice this whole time. Over the decades
Whole
that I've
time.
known you,
Whole
it's
time.
been apple juice.
Whole time.
Well, cheers. Yeah, it's like a
Cheers.
whiskey sour, but a little different.
It looks a
So
little different, but it looks interesting. Maybe next time I'm up there, you could make me one of those.
yeah, I'll serve this with, it'll go, you know how a food pairing works, right?
Hmm.
You know, they serve a steak and they say this W.T. Taylor bourbon goes really well with it. So this with Skyline chili would be disgusting. Sorry to all of our Skyline folk or wannabe
Yeah.
Skyline folk. I don't know. I think it's a
Ohio, the Ohio viewers. Yeah, I guess they're
yeah,
sorry.
yeah. I get a
We're
text from
sorry,
all
but
you talk
your
so loud.
your food is horrible.
Yeah, a little bit. Um, yeah. Well, speaking of food, I cooked on my Blackstone grill,
Mm,
which I just got, and we cooked tortellini on it the other night. I thought
interesting.
Vic was probably going to kill me for that one. It actually turned out really good. We cooked hibachi last night with lo mein, and then tonight the quintessential smash burgers. I feel like it's rite of passage if you own one. And the wife says we're no longer allowed to eat normal burgers in this house. knowing there's a smash burger that exists.
What did you
So that's what we'll do.
What did you eat?
I mean, I had a smash turkey burger.
Okay.
Have you had a smash burger?
Yeah, I've had a smash burger, not a smash turkey burger.
I mean, it's still the same damn thing.
No, turkey is not the same as beef.
Well, I'm not arguing that part. I'm just talking. You still smash it, you still cook it on a grill till it gets crispy. And yes, I have a smashed turkey burger. You have a smash hamburger, or why do you call it ham if it's beef?
I didn't name it.
I mean, you know,
I think the
why do you have to
Germans
name my
named it,
burger?
didn't the
Well, why do you
Germans?
have to like put my burger in a category? Why can't it just be a burger?
Don't put
I'm
burger in a corner.
I'm freaking offended now.
Don't put the burger in a corner.
Yeah, put the burger in the corner. Yeah, no, we're good, man. I'm back. I'm excited. It took a little bit of muscle memory. I've lost a decent amount of muscle in my leg,
Really?
so breaking with it was difficult. The first time I jumped on the rig was Thursday. It was either Thursday or Friday. Don't need time jumped on, and I was like, I'll jump on with you, and I couldn't catch his ass. Case in point of how it ended yesterday. But I couldn't catch him at all. And I was trying my hardest to catch him. And that car was just so quick. And he's quick to begin with, but just on that track, on those straights, there was nothing I can do to track that car down. So I knew, after testing, I knew it was going to be difficult to keep up with him. And our strat was a little backwards. We'll talk about that in a moment, but getting back to it, it was nice to get back in the seat. Being at St. Croix on the controller, God, that sucked. It really hurt my points because I only took 6 points last week, and it's got me in the predicament I'm in now. Not bad, but it was just cool. It was cool to be back in the seat. And I got to use my little speaker for the first time.
Ooh, what was that like? Tell us about that.
Dude, it's so cool. Like every time you shift gears, you just feel the boom. You feel the little bump in the seat.
I
Like
bet you do.
hey, you call it what you want. I like the bump in the seat. You know what I mean? Our viewership just went through the roof. 17 Larrys just showed up to watch.
Right, yeah, and our next enrollment's gonna be like all women.
I mean, hey, why not? Your wife joined, right?
Yeah, maybe I'll have to get her a bump in the seat or whatever what is it called? What did you buy? What is a what
It's a little bass shaker. It's a shaker speaker.
Okay, so
So,
it's so um so tell us about it so in case anybody wants to get one for
yeah, so it was $100. So not bad, honestly. And it's a speaker about this big. I would say probably 5 inches around. And you mount it to the bottom of the seat. You buy a little amplifier that goes with it,
Mhm.
and you hook it into the audio port of the laptop. You run SimHub at the same time. You can go through and set up different parameters for the entire thing. When I start to lose traction, I feel it vibrate. So going up Eau Rouge,
Mhm.
you could feel it kind of twitching a little bit, like the rear end starting to step out. And I would feel it in certain locations. If I hit rumble strips, you feel it like tapping that bottom a little bit. Just
Oh
tap, tap,
yeah.
tap, 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 tap. Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Um, but dude, just again, it's so cool. Just like you pull the gear shift in and you just feel the clunk. You feel it, not just hear it. You just feel every time clunk, 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 clunk. And when you're downshifting, you're like clunk, 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 clunk. It's like ding, ding, ding. You're like, oh yeah. So I tucked the boys down to kind of, you know, make that 60 minutes a little more enjoyable. I've taken it too far. Deviant racing.
So the 3 hour endurance will be
No, the 3 hour endurance has been extended to 5 hours.
uh
Uh, what's got
nice.
the hardest gear shift?
Yeah, what shifts the hardest? Like
I think probably
probably
that.
that 70s or 80s car, that Nissan you drove.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. It's boom, and you're like, oh, you ride the whole way then. Eyes roll back. We have gone way off topic. Anyway,
Uh let's get
It
back.
like I said, it was under $100, and I think for an immersion, like for something simple, I think it's worth it. 100% it's worth it. It mounts very e well, I say it mounts easy. I literally, and there's pictures posted in Discord. I took I gotta say this quietly. I took a cutting board, a plastic cutting board, and it was just the right width for the straps underneath, the metal straps underneath my seat. So I just tapped it into it and used the cutting board, and no one has said anything. Like it was a matching set of three, and we're missing one. So
They still got two more. It's all right.
yeah, don't say anything. But again, for $100, it's a very cool immersion, just to kind of feel the gear shifts, feel a little bit of the rumble strips. I'm sure in VR it would be even better. And at some point, I'll start making the transition to that. But right now, I got to get my head straight. So we're just not there yet. But it is cool. I
Nice.
definitely recommend it.
So I guess I need to get a link from you because I guess I'll need to add that too. Uh
Yeah, I mean, and with what Bad Rock has, I mean, he's put it on his pedals, so you feel it there. And you may know this or may already have it, but your fans that you have, you can set up for Sim Hub as well.
mhm, yeah.
So they kick on and off um, for all that, which
Mhm.
is crazy.
Yeah. I use them as air conditioners, but yeah.
Well, yeah, of course, because I mean, you're fully suited with a helmet on.
Yeah, it gets hot.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. But it's just a cool immersion. It really is. And at first, like I said, for the cost, I shouldn't have waited as long as I did. It really is cool.
Well, we know what my next purchase is going to be, and then I think you're coming to see us in a little bit. So I'll have it ordered so that you can install it while you're here because
I should never announce when I'm coming to people's houses.
yeah. Yeah, I got Wit's down there making a list of things already. I told her she's already got the food already decided what she got to make for dinner. And now we
Well,
got
let me ask, what am I making? Let me guess. More Michelangelo?
yeah, tortellini Michelangelo.
Okay, whatever.
All
One
right.
of these trips, I'll be
Let's
actually treated like a guest. That's what I'm waiting for. Like I showed up last time, the ceiling's caving in, you got water leaks, like there's plastic on the bed. I don't know what the hell that was about. That looked like a Dexter episode. Freaking host.
uh,
I
so
give you a very nice air mattress to lay on,
hey,
nice and
now that air
comfortable.
mattress
Or
is nice.
you lay in Silas's bed. We won't talk about if he's actually home or not when you do that.
The air mattress is nice. You did feed me a shit dinner, which we've just discussed at length, but you made it up with the good dinner that we went out to downtown.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's true. That's true.
So
The cool thing is about this podcast is at some point we will talk about racing.
yeah, the GT racing that happened just this past weekend. So we're like 15 minutes in. So
We're gonna
let's
do it all backwards. Did you see the lemon stuff I posted today?
yes, I did. I
Yeah.
did. Yeah, the bumper looks awesome on there. I
Yep.
think that's awesome. And then
Don't
it's
say
got
bumper. You're gonna get corrected. It's not a bumper. I called it plastic doohickey so people would not correct me.
what is it?
Because last time I called it a bumper, I got dragged out into the driveway and beaten by the people in our automotive shop who were in Discord. So I'm not even going to call it by its right name. I'm just driving crazy with plastic doohickey.
All right, the plastic fascia
No doohickey.
with the neat doohickey with the neat other doohickey that you push and it
Yeah, that
disconnects.
was Silas's idea. That was pretty cool. Like it's just a quick connect for the side, and we have are push pins holding the top and the bottom in. So if not if when we need to pull the plastic doohickey off during the race, it shouldn't take long. It'll take a while to put it back on because you got to line everything up. Or we run without it, which is my preference because it'll make it a lot easier when we hit everything on the track with it. But yeah, we I didn't get into the car much this weekend. Silas did. Excuse me, Silo. Um, he drove it around the neighborhood. So one lap around the neighborhood is 24 shifts.
Ah, okay.
So 2 miles, 24 shifts. We got to get to 750 shifts. So he's got a little bit more to do.
He's got to turn
Uh,
some laps.
He does have to turn some laps, and it is funny just watching him go around in a circle. Like you see him every 5 minutes. He's like, "Brr, brr."
Were you like in a
uh,
lawn chair in the driveway drinking a beer and just watching him?
I mean, no, I don't. I didn't watch him. I was making dinner on the Blackstone, but yeah, it was just funny just watching him roll by. But yeah, he put that the plastic doohickey on the front. Tried to adjust the clutch a little bit more, and we really have to. It takes two people. I can't I can't get involved right now. Like just with my back, I still don't want to screw it up anything because I'm not 100%. So it's we got to get the tolerance down. We're shifting right about the halfway point on the clutch, and it's just still too much. It's too much. So we have to adjust that a little bit.
Maybe this
But
weekend.
no, because he won't be here. You're not getting under the car, and I'm not getting under the car. So we know that's not going to happen.
Okay, not
I've
this
already adjusted the quadrant on the clutch as far out as it will go. We might have to change it back to the midpoint, but whatever. I mean, again, we're making progress on it. Sometimes a little bit quick, sometimes a little bit slower. Right now is just to get some laps on it, laps, miles, and
which is laps.
it is laps. And then Silo is heading to Atlanta for work, and he's going to swing by Summit Racing and put his big butt in a chair, racing seat, and get fitted. And he has to, his challenge is to find a seat that fits his 6'4", 18 and a half inch profile down to your little 165-pound, 5'9" frame. We're dealing with this kind of dilemma.
Sounds like
So
Mutt and Jeff.
you'll need booster seats, and he'll need to sit on the floor pan of the car. But then we'll be fine. But
Okay.
it's in Discord today. I posted those photos, and it's great because it doesn't take much to get the guys all riled up. Everyone started chiming in about it. Fish started, posting pictures of his Miata and the springs he's putting on it, which looks badass. And everyone just getting excited again about it. And we're still months and months and months away, but everyone joking around with party bus or Glovis flying into to Richmond to drive down with Zen and Floody, or coming right here to South Carolina or whatever. But it's if everyone holds true to coming, like I know we've said it, it's going to be epic.
It's gonna be a great time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What would be an extraordinary commitment? And I'm not holding these guys to that. I'm going to say it though. If Anatole or Vic, like someone across the pond, shows up, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
That would be truly amazing.
Yeah.
So, but no, no, I'm not making anyone feel bad. That's a hell of a trip to make for something like this. But it would be,
If you did, it would be baller.
dude, yeah, like royal treatment after that.
Yeah, yeah, you would definitely get the royal treatment and some kind of league
I'll give you a
nomination or
hoodie. There
something.
you go. I'll give you a hoodie.
Give you a hoodie and a t-shirt. We'll even make
Yeah,
it.
you spent 3 grand to get here, multiple hours in the air, and I'll give you a hoodie. Thanks for showing up.
Yeah, name on it and everything. So GTD, let's talk about the race this past weekend. So uh, so Spa, which is you love Spa. Um,
I love Spa, and this is the first time I've raced it in a GT3 car.
yeah, yeah, you actually managed. And managed well. So how did your race go?
So like I said, I was practicing with Don't Need Time the other day, and I did not feel in a groove at all. Like track was not flowing. Again, I think a lot of it was muscle memory with my leg and just couldn't get my braking zones down and could not apply the pressure that I wanted to. It just everything was off. It was like just it was just off. But nonetheless, I think what helped was when I came in for qualifying, I got literally one lap in. So I was kind of cold going into it. Again, I'm trying to set up Sim Hub and for those that don't know, like I don't have a dedicated racing spot. I do have a racing spot. However, it's in Silo's room. Like that was a part of he's in a very large room. So it's not like taking up his space and he's hanging clothes off it or anything. But like I don't barge into his room at 9 a.m. Hey man, I got to practice. So I'm a little restricted in that regard. So I typically don't show up in the rig until like 10:30, 10:40. And by the time I get everything set up, it's like you're like, all right, it's time to kick this off. And I'm like, God, I have no practice. Anyway, so we get going, and I took second in qualifying, which I was very surprised by. Um, we get into the race and I started on hards and I knew it was fuel saving because our safety car was lap 9. Our goal, our pit strategy was to pit on safety car lap 9. And we thought that pitting on a uh, later lap would benefit us in the long run. What we did not practice going into this is how many laps we could go with the safety car included. And had we known that, we would have not have pit on lap 9. We would have pit on lap 7 because if you go back and watch the stream, everybody and their mother pit on lap 7. And I was thinking, I didn't announce it, but I'm thinking to myself, all right, this is either going to be epic or horrible. And it was not epic, I'll say that. But so knowing I had to fuel save, I couldn't rev it out whatsoever. I was maxing my RPMs at 7,500 RPMs, and I'm on hard tires, so I'm really just taking it easy. Um, don't Need Time was on pole. He was on medium tires, and lap one, he was already a second and a half ahead of me. Berman was slowly closing in, and I think I kind of juked Berman a little bit going up Eau Rouge for the first time. I knew I had him cleared, so I kind of cut in front of him to make sure that I can make it a Eau Rouge without having to lift. And I think it caught him off guard, so he lifted, which kind of took his speed away from the straight, and he got passed by a few people. So I apologize. That was not intentional against you. I was just trying to clean up my line. But it was clean. Like I with the hard tires and knowing I got a fuel save and all this other stuff, I got into a good rhythm. So overall, I mean, I felt good about the race. Everything was clicking, fuel was lining up. I hated running it at night. That was bleh, you know, it is what it is. But overall, I think it went really well on my end. And then comes safety car. I'm out at front, announce the safety car, and it's me and Coma are out in front, and there's a huge gap because everyone pit on lap 7. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stick within parameters, but I'm gonna push these people to have to catch up to us. So I'm running 69 miles an hour, whatever that is, kilometers, I'm sorry. But I'm running 69 and like, hey, I'm just gonna push within the limits of the rules and make everyone catch up, hoping they would use more fuel towards the end. We pit on lap 9, and next thing you know, Coma and I are in the back. We're 13th and 14th position. I'm like, all right, this may not have worked out. And I'm thinking, okay, well, my hope is that everybody has to pit on lap 15 or 16 and fuel save in the end. But they all made it to 17, which was the lap that I wanted to pit on before making it to the end of the race. And when everyone started pitting on 17, I'm like, all right, we're screwed. We're screwed. You know? So I got really lucky with being able to move through the field a little bit. There was heavy traffic. There was a ton of traffic, and there's some good passing zones on Spa, as you know, but I mean, it took a while to kind of get to those points. I had some great passes, that I was very proud of. Floody brought one up after the race. We were going through the final, the S's before you get onto the back straight, and I passed him on the outside to catch the inside of the next right-hander. And he was like, dude, I was fighting for everything, and he still got past me. And then I got a great pass on Glovis at the final chicane going to the start finish line. Same thing, late break on the outside to catch the next inside turn. And he said the same thing. He's like, man, like I was trying to fight you and just that's one good thing the Porsche is good on. Like it does good with rotation. Does not do great on exit on exit unless you've done the full rotation. But so I had some good passes and then I blew the doors off you on the last lap. And I learned my lesson because going throughout the race, I took up, I think, two or three penalties I took going up Eau Rouge too close to somebody. Dirty air, was not able to make the turn. There's a set of bumps going up, and if it destabilizes the car, you're already out of position. And it happened at least twice. I was next to Glovis and Izzy for one of them, and then it was another one before that. And so this time I was like, you know what? You were in front on the last lap, then Coma, then me. I was on Coma's butt, and I couldn't get close enough to tap him to kind of get a little bit nudge on you. But so what I did was I shifted up quick. So instead of like riding out third and then fourth, I went ahead and shifted to fifth, and that way I got a little gap going up Eau Rouge. And he was real close to you. And I think he kind of lifted a little bit and just uncertainty as to how you were going to go up it. And I was able to come up on you guys maxed out, you know. And I was hoping he was going to be all the way left so I could bump him past you. And he unfortunately was on your slipstream still kind of catching, and I couldn't bump him because it would have bumped into you and I wasn't going to help you. Sorry. So I blew by him, I blew by you, and then he tucked in behind me. And then we were able to make it, that last lap all the way. I had plenty of fuel, he had plenty of fuel, and you were nursing it, unbeknownst to me at the time. But yeah, that was definitely cool. I wish I could have bumped him and got him out in the front. I would have been fine with just, following him the whole way and give him a shot at podium because I don't think he's had a podium yet this season. He hasn't.
No, that was
So
the best. His best finish
that
was
was his best finish, and I would have sacrificed had he been in the right position, but I didn't want to one cause an accident, two hit him, which would have bumped into you. I wasn't doing that, sorry. So, but overall, like again, it's been a long time. I've wanted to run at Spa for a long time, and I think it would have been more competitive had I not pit on lap 7 or on lap 9, but it is what it is. Lessons learned. We still ended up 3 and 4 as a team. It was cool to kind of rock that and come in, as a team. So overall, it was good. It was good. I had some good passes. It was clean racing, not a bunch of issues. Everyone was courteous. Um, Nothing crazy whatsoever. But I mean,
I
it was
remember at
fun.
the end, Floody comes on, and the first thing after everybody finished, he was like, "Well done, everybody!" Like
Yeah.
our first lap was super clean. We had none of this turn one issues. I don't think we had any issues on the first lap or
No.
the
Mm-mm.
first couple laps. It was everybody really really did a good job. They kept it clean. Um, everybody knows Spa. It's a pretty popular track. Everybody's
Yeah,
fairly familiar
it's
with it.
it's people know it, but like not everybody is excited to drive it.
Hmm.
I know Larry expressed some discontent for the track, saying it just doesn't click for him, which is unfortunate because he's in a strong car for that track. Do you like it?
Yeah, I like Spa. I think Spa is it's not my favorite track of all
Hmm.
time or anything like that, but it's one that it flows well. I think I like the way the turns flow. It makes sense. You got enough combination of straightaways and turns that it's nice. I like Spa.
Hmm.
Like I say, it's top five for me. easy. It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one. And for me, I went into this race with basically the only goal of mine was to just not make any mistakes. I was like, I needed to get a decent finish. And I was like, I know the track. I was really hoping we didn't get rain, which we didn't, because I knew if it came rain at night, that would have been that would have been bad.
Yeah, but that would have been so cool in VR though.
It would have been. So this was the first race I've done at night in VR.
Hmm.
I have yet to do a rain race in VR, but I do want to, because I actually get to use the windshield wipers with a purpose.
Right.
So I do want to do one. I just didn't want to do it at Spa at night in this race. But I had no issues throughout the race. I didn't have any kind of issues with any drivers. I didn't make any mistakes. I don't believe I took any penalties. I might have taken a 1/2 second penalty, like a half a second cutting a curb or something. But overall, it was a good race. I didn't make any drastic mistakes. Hit my pit number where I was supposed to, where Zen had planned it out for me. And then I got to the end, and it didn't go as well. Um, we all know that I don't have gas issues, historically. So I don't know if it was a failed strategy or what it might have been, but I'm not one to traditionally have issues with fuel. So
Clearly.
um, but I got to the last several laps, and I was flipping back and forth because I noticed I didn't know who was back there, but I knew there was a car back there, and I had quite a bit of separation between whoever was in front of me and whoever was in behind me. And I was like, okay, this is cool. I can live with this. So I just basically keep pace and keep going, and we'll finish in, I think it was fifth or something like that, or fourth maybe. And so then I started watching, I flipped over to the fuel thing, and I was looking at the laps remaining, and I was looking at the timer, and I was like, it's getting kind of close. And so, like I had a couple more laps I did, and I was like, this is getting really close. And I was trying to do math in my head, and I was like, I've got to start fuel saving. So I started short shifting, and that wasn't getting it. And then I came around on the last lap, or maybe it was the second to the last lap, I forget which one. And I was like, okay, we're in trouble. We're gonna be about a half a lap short if I don't do something.
That's a big
And
lap too.
yeah. And so I got to the last lap, and I noticed whoever, which was you and Como, were catching me. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And I got to the last lap, and I crossed the line. It was point 0.7 in the tank. And I was like, oh God, okay. Uh, we have problems. We have big problems. So I shifted it up to the fuel map up to like 3 or 4 or something like that, and just kept my eye on it. And I watched you guys just keep creeping up. And I was like, I'm not gonna make it. I gotta shift. I gotta go down. And I was ended up in fuel map 6. And then you guys went by me. And I didn't realize it was two of you was the thing. I kind of thought it was you. I was like, Junkai's either in the lead and about to win this race, or he's behind me again. And so, and then it was you came by, I saw a Porsche, and I was like, and then two Porsches, and I was like, they're running nose to tail with each other.
Dude, it's such a gratifying moment. It just as a team, there's just like this warm, fuzzy camaraderie when you and your teammate, regardless of if you're in front or in the rear, but when the two of you can just successfully navigate through a pack or together or finish at the end at the same time, it is just it's again, it's just so gratifying to get to that point. Sorry it was at your demise on the straight, but I do take some gratifying pieces away of knowing that it's happened to you twice this season.
It did.
uh, yeah.
It
So,
did.
and
And
I didn't know what the spread was. Like I saw you positioned in fourth place, and I'm like, or you were in third,
I was
and
in
I'm like,
third.
crap. Like Zen's strategy, once again, has helped Merc out in a way that, again, put him out in the front somehow, some way, put him out in the
Hmm.
front. And I'm like, dang it. So I didn't know how far you were away from Coma, but Coma was like 6 seconds ahead of me. And I'm like, all right, let's. I had fuel saved enough because, like, when I was going into my braking zones, I was changing to fuel map 3 and I was staying in a higher gear. The slower S turns, I was staying in fuel map 2 or 3 just to kind of gain anything that I could. And so I had extra fuel for those last 2 laps. And I'm like, all right, 6 seconds on Coma. What can I pull together? And I managed to catch up to you guys right at the start line or the finish line. I'm like, all right, here we go. Let's see how this works out. And it worked out well. So
Yeah, I wasn't
yeah.
expecting to lose two. I knew I was going to lose one,
Yeah.
but I didn't know you were a pair back there. And then I got to the end, and it was literally like two corners to go. It was right before the hairpin at the end, and I didn't know who was coming from back, and it was Glovis. And Glovis went by me, and I was like, I don't have enough fuel to race him. I was like, because I thought about it when I saw the headlights coming, I could see it gaining, and I was like, dude, just flip it down to one, go for it. And I was like, no, that's dumb. You don't have enough to make it, and if you do that, you're gonna run out, and then I'm gonna lose 5 positions and
Hmm.
finish. So Glovis goes by. I was like, see ya. And then I finished with it was either point one or like running right to point zero at the
Yeah.
line. If I had fuel saved and short shifted, if all I'd done is short shifted that entire last stint, um, I'd have been fine. It would have been a third place finish.
I
But
mean, as your captain said, if you would show up to practice, he would have taught you how to get 8 laps out of the car.
that's 100% true. That is
It was good to see some of the other drivers having a good race. Floody, with his typical Viper comments, just not getting anywhere whatsoever. Cam again managing to kind of starting to understand the car a little bit
Mhm.
better. He got eighth place, which, middle of the pack, but with that car again, not bad.
Oh,
Uh,
after Eau Rouge, it was one time it was floody and he passed me. It was towards the beginning of the race. And I come up the hill and where he's behind me. And then I'm just sitting there and all I hear is and it's this Viper just pacing
mhm,
me away. I was like, this is insane how fast this thing is. And then I was like, I'm gonna be stuck behind him
mhm.
for the rest of this lap. And yeah, it's the Viper is strong on the straightaways, man. I mean, it's yeah, you can't you can't touch that car on the straight.
No, that is sure. And the Genesis was the same way. Again, not taking anything away from those guys at all, because they struggled in the turns. So it was definitely the advantage of the straights for those guys. Zen put on a hell of a strategy. Again, I don't know what he was tracking for track times or whatever, but again, landing second place, um, just kind of out of the blue. Again, it's the typical Zen strat where you get down to the last 5 laps and he just pops up in the top five, and you're like, damn it. He was coming up on me a couple times. I never got to run side by side with him. I didn't see him. Chaotica came up on my bumper a couple times um, after the second pit stop. And besides that, like I didn't see some of the guys. I saw a race with Izzy a little bit for the first time. Um, Glovis, like I said, didn't see Cam much. Unfortunately, never saw Don't Need Time after the start, and that was that was it for that one. And unfortunately, Nismo, I don't know if it was just a bad day. I don't know if it was a strat issue or what, but him taking ninth place, unfortunately, helps me and Zanshin out quite a bit to be in grasping territory. Um, I've taken first, but Spa was fun. It was fun. This is why I've always wanted to race it. The jinx is over. The negative Malokia is over. We're good.
Well, why don't you run us through the finishing order of GTD Pro?
Yeah, so don't need time. Took first place, as we know. He got his first win of the season. He's been kind of just chipping at the heels of everybody this season, just trying to get that win and never was able to get to it until this race. So he's had two third places, a fourth place, and then finally gets the win. Zen, like I said, taking second place in the Ferrari. Again, a tough car to do that in when you're kind of limited with the top end. I think your car having the worst top end out of every car on the track yesterday. Me taking third, Coma taking fourth. Coma again his best finish of the season. Glovis taking fifth. Merc, you took sixth with help you with your relegation issue there. So good job. Zanchin took seventh place in his second fastest lap in a row. He took it here and he took it at St. Croix, where he just decimated us with the fastest lap. Cam with like a very good job in eighth place. Nismo again, very unfortunate ninth place. I'm thankful for it because it helps us in the final standings. Floody in 10th with the Viper, Chaotic in 11th, Izzy in 12th in the McLaren, Larry in 13th. Uh, Struggling. Larry's struggling, man. Like, I don't know if it's, he kind of let a ton of people pass. He's like, hey, I'm fuel saving, I'm fuel saving, I'm fuel saving. I don't know if that was the strat to begin with. I've offered him tips for his strategy, and he's yet to take me up on them. And I'll give him an honest strat. I really will. And I told him that today. I said, and I've told you this before, and I think I've said it on the podcast 100 times. To hell with fuel strategies. I hate fuel strategies unless your car is literally built for fuel. Otherwise, race the doors off to your best capabilities because you and I have tried it multiple times. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Nope.
And then last but not least, unfortunately, Preston in the Lexus taking last place for his third last place of the season in the Lexus. So,
So,
and that's how it rounded out.
so with the leaderboard where we're standing, GTD Pro at the top of the leaderboard is LMS Nismo with 75 points. Second is Berman with 65, tied with Junkai with 65. So there's
Yeah.
a tie for second place, and you guys are 10 points behind the leader. So,
Yeah, I think I calculated, and I may be wrong, someone can correct me. I think if best case scenario, if me or Zanchin take first place, Nismo has to take fifth or better
mhm.
in order to keep the win
or
because of that 20 points.
or sixth and fastest lap.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's a step down, and you're about to say it, but go ahead.
So with fourth, we have a tied for with fourth with Zen and Don't Need Time with 64 points. So they're only 1 point behind of the tie for second. So the top five drivers right now all legitimately have a shot at
Hmm.
winning GTD Pro in the final round.
Yeah, if when we look at this after the championship, it could easily be Zen, Don't Need Time, Nismo, Junkai, Zanchin. It could be any combination of the five, which is absolutely nuts, which puts a little bit more effort on it because if you go into the race really thinking about it, of like Zen has to beat me and Zanchin by two positions, unless it's top five, right? But he's got to get 2 points on us to get into podium, and same with Don't Need Time. Catalunya favors MR cars, so Ferrari, Porsche. There is a long straight, but besides that, Catalunya are slow turns,
Mhm.
not a whole lot of fast ones. So it's going to benefit the MR cars. We'll see how it goes, but I'm super excited about the championship because in seasons past, it's already been decided. Like, all right,
Yeah.
first place is so and so. Who's fighting for second and third? And it's not like that this season, which is
No.
fantastic.
No, we have a legit five-way shootout between drivers for who has a shot at number one. So rounding out number six, sixth place is Glovis with 53, Larry 39, tied with Camzilla with also 39. Then Floody in ninth with 38, myself in 10th with 36, Comacopa just above relegation in 11th at 34. And then below relegation line is Izzy with 30, Chaotica with 24, and Preston with 14. So, uh, so yeah, we have a battle at the top between the top five, and then we have Glovis is kind of surfing in the middle there, and then we have another group of five drivers that is all mixed up. Larry, Cam, Floody, myself, and Coma that
Hmm.
are all within what 5 points of each other, shifting around completely.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, so the leaderboard is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I mean, and think about it this way too. What if Chaotica or Izzy take a top three position?
Yeah,
You
they
know, then you find yourself with, if you, Floody, Coma, Cam have a bad race at Catalunya and one of those guys gets a top three,
mhm,
someone could drop into relegation that has not been there all season and
right.
doesn't even have their eye on it. And next thing you know, you're below that red line. You're like,
Mhm.
oh God.
Yeah, it can totally, yeah, there's no telling. Catalonia is going to be crazy. It's going to shift the leaderboard all around, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So,
Hmm.
so that is where the leaderboard GTD Pro stands. So let's talk about GTD World, or GTD, that the race they had. They also had a clean start,
Hmm.
clean race, not many incidences. Look to be, I think everybody's kind of feeling all the other drivers out, learning everybody's style and driving a little bit cleaner. And, it seems like there's a whole lot less incidences and we're getting through turn ones cleanly now.
Hmm. Yeah, and that's usually where we get this time of the season is race six, race five.
Mhm.
Everyone is comfortable in their cars now. They know what it's capable of. They don't over push in some areas, for a pass that doesn't exist. And now, credit to all the leagues. There really hasn't been a slew of incident reports. Yes, there's been some. There's going to be incidents, accidents happen and whatnot, but nothing that's been, outright egregious or, just fighting for positions that are not there. I think everyone's starting to really reserve themselves to a point of, like we say, you don't win on turn one. You don't win on the first lap. You don't win on the fifth lap. Like it's a grind. That's the point. And it's not about getting the fastest lap every time. It's getting good, solid, consistent laps. And again, you didn't, not trying to dog you on anything. You didn't put down any scorching laps last
Mhm.
race. And without the fuel issue, you would have been third place, like out of nowhere. Um, and that's the point. But Arcane was missing. Apparently, he has a life out of deviant racing, which is unacceptable. He should represent a lot better than that when you're in first place and is like, man, I don't need the points, whatever. Oh, drop races? I don't care. You don't have to drop. You're fine. But yeah, Arcane missed this track, which was probably good for the rest of them. But everyone, like you said, everyone ran clean. There was some new people up at the front, kind of working their way through the field. It was good to see Anatole back out there again. This is his second race. Again, he's getting a little bit more familiar with his car and everything that goes along with it. We had a couple people that didn't make it this race. Saito had a little gardening issue where he tweaked his neck, and I can't give any shade that way because yeah, been there, done that. But like you said, turn one was good for not turn one. I mean, the start for them was good. We had a temporary driver, reserve driver, helping us out on our team, Roy Mustang and Roy Mustang Jr., dad and son. I don't know which one was racing for us, but they had a very unfortunate start. I don't know how they ended up backwards on the start.
Maybe no
Um,
traction control or something.
they spun out and it was like whoop. Okay. Don't know what happened. And so, they had a little bit of a rough go at it from there, but they recovered. They didn't take last place because of it, for sure. And again, everyone else had a really good race. Thrasher stepped up this race and did excellent. Jim had some pretty baller moves as well. I will say to Roy Mustang, if it was his senior or the junior, um, not that Jim bullied. That's not the right thing I'm going for here, but he pressed on Roy Mustang, and I'd like to see Roy Mustang get that back. Like, let's let's get that back. Make him earn it a little bit more. You know what I mean? Don't just give the position up. Not that he gave it up, but he was a little timid about it. So if it was Junior, well, let's get some practice. You know, I want to see Junior just out of nowhere come like crashing through our league. That'd be amazing. Dirksey had some great passes yesterday. Again, this is just a good track for passing. There was a lot of passing on the right after Eau Rouge on the straight, and people are passing two cars at a time just because of the run, just because of the slipstream. There was very heavy wind yesterday with qualifying and on the race itself, and um, it was evident because the track times were a little slower than what we typically see sometimes. So, um, but all in all, again, it was a shame in the dark because you couldn't see all the liveries. Bongit had a really good livery with we did our DC themed. So he had what's her
Did you
name?
did you see Bonget's boink?
Yeah, not only the boink, but Webo's laughter because of it. Like when he hit that pylon and went flying in the air, Webo about lost it. Was cracking up laughing. And it's stupid games, you know what I mean? Like you hit that, you don't feel it, you don't see it on your screen,
Mm-mm.
but everyone else around you, you get 6 feet up in the air like it's nothing. So
Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah.
no, it was good, but it was again, man, just good solid racing by everybody. Everyone pushing, they're driving closer to one another. I think again, them catching there's a couple of these guys have had experience in our league anyway with the GT3 cars. Obviously Dirksey being one of them, Thrasher being one of them, Curious Guy being one of them. Those guys have had that GT3 experience, and now everyone's starting to catch up, feel their cars out a little bit better. And it's showing. Again, they're running close and without incident. Again, like they're not brake checking each other, they're not punting people off the track. And that's where we were a couple seasons ago. So it's really good to see the evolution of this league and in this series particularly at how well they're really accommodating to it. Um, it's been good. It's
Yep.
been good for sure.
Yep. Well, take us through the finishing order for a GTD.
Yeah, so taking first place in his second race of how do I say this? Second official race, not his first win. Second official race, first official win of 4.1 season goes to Mr. Fisher. Fish Shoulder. I'm always going to butcher it just because I know it pisses him off. So we're going to call him Fish took first place. My man Bongit from Team Universal slash Team whatever else you want to call us took second place. Thrasher with his second, third place finish of the season took third. Dirksey right on the heels taking fourth. Osmanian Devil taking fifth, which is another fifth place for him. Dollars per win taking sixth, which was kind of a little bit surprising because he was at the front quite a bit and he ran into fuel problems. And I think there was a point towards the end of the race where dollars per win passed Bongit on the straight, and dollars per win just went flying by. And it's like, okay, I'm sitting there in the garage, I'm watching it, and I'm supposed to be like cleaning up. I got a TV in the garage and my wife is standing at the door looking through, like giving me hand motions. I should be doing something. I'm like, I'm watching something here. But in that moment, dollars per win just blew the doors off Bongit. And I'm like, I don't know how that's going to work out because fuel, and it got the best of him. Sam with his first reserve, I believe, Sam's first reserve. Fact checking that. Yep. Sam took seventh place. with his first reserve, Jim taking eighth. Sully, our nice little moderator, taking ninth place. Anatole with his second race back, taking 10th. Roy Mustang, senior or junior, as a group, taking 11th. Curious Guy, I believe, was kicked from the race. He showed up and then he was commenting on the YouTube stream. So I'm only assuming that he got kicked. I haven't been able to talk to him to confirm that. But that was our finishing order. There were two drivers shy, with Saito, Huge Jar, Lalo missing, but they did have a couple of reserves in there helping. So overall, to the new drivers who showed up for reserves, bravo. And to our field, good job.
Well done. So, points where we stand with points. It is not as close in GTD as it is in Pro. Arcane is, well, there's no other way to put it. He is, we can go ahead and welcome him in.
Hey, congratulations.
Congratulations, you are headed to GTD Pro with 91 points. Yeah, there's mathematically there is not that's not going to change. So
Nope.
congratulations, Arcane. Uh, Followed by dollars per win with 69 points. Heyo. And then Bong it with 68. So it's looking right now, those two are above the promotion line. They will be at this time going to the promotion race, although there could be a shift there at the last race, depending on some of the other drivers that are still close to that line. Being that Jim in fourth, has 59 points. Thrasher with 55 points. Dirksey in sixth with 53. Tasmanian Devil with 43. Sully in eighth with 39. Saito 27. 10th is Kura Sky with 23. Mr. Fish has 21. And Huge Jar 20. Lalo in 13th with 18. And Anatole with 11. So that is where the leaderboard stands with GTD. Um, we could see some shifting around depending on where finishing position is. I think uh, I think mostly it's going to be Jim. Jim would need to place pretty high
Yeah,
up,
he would need
top
podium
three,
finish and dollars and bong it having some issues next
having some
race.
issues.
But
Yeah.
I will say that the secret hero of today's podcast, if you guys have known and have witnessed, our leaderboard is in order. We were able to read it from top to bottom, and I don't know what admin or moderator took care of that for us and watched us struggle the last few times that we've done this and decided to say, this is embarrassing. I'm not going to allow this, and made sure it was right for tonight. We thank you. We don't know who you are, but clearly you deserve to be in the position that you're in because you made us look good tonight. So that has not gone without notice. Just like Webo's stream, we give him props every time. Webo, thank you for the stream. It's good to see you really starting to get to know the drivers, showcasing their liveries, having fun with it, really enveloping more than just where you are track position wise, but the history of, last season's winner and up and coming challengers and all that. It's a great feature, and it really brings a lot to our league. So we appreciate you for it.
Yes. And to round out the standings, team placements right now, no surprise at all. Team Chameleon run away with the season. Congratulations. I think we congratulated you on the last one because we'd already determined it, but 224 points. Well done.
Killing it.
You've completely blown everybody out of the water because second place is Team Universal with 167. So,
Moving up. That's our first place there because first place doesn't exist to us. That is our first place.
okay, got it. So, third is Team Amazon with 153, tied with Team Karate Tortoises with 150.
Uh-oh.
So we have a fight between Amazon and Karate Tortoises for podium within teams. So, so the next race will sort that out. Fifth is Team Pike Fitness with 138. Sixth is Team Cannonball, 132. And Team America bringing up the rear with 111.
America.
America. Yeah.
All right. Catalunya. You good with
Catalonia.
it?
Yeah.
You like Catalunya?
Uh, I, I, I'm indifferent to Catalonia. Every time I think about Catalonia, I think about that salad dressing.
Okay.
Like that's what like when I see the name, I'm like it just triggers my mind salad dressing. I'm indifferent to that track. I'm glad it's the no chicane because I hate the little chicane at the end.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
So
What I remember, this will only be the second time that we've raced this in our GR3 series. I remember hating this track. I remember not looking forward to racing this track the season we raced it in. And when we showed up to race, after the race, I was like, that's a great racing track. It's not one I anticipated to really like so much. There's a lot of good opportunities for close racing. There's a lot of opportunities for passing, and it's a technical track. It's not a simple track, and it's not one that everybody knows.
no,
So it'll be interesting to see, definitely. But I am looking forward to it because I do remember how I felt after the track, despite running out of fuel and losing to Besso. Um, I'm looking forward to getting back out there.
just haunted his dreams
Well, it's
forever.
true. You remember those moments, you know what I mean? And Vic was giving me hell in our DMs earlier this week. We were talking about Spa, and I was talking about our endurance race when I spun out on the last lap, and I was hunting him down, cutting time like crazy on the last lap, and I spun out and in a spot that I never spin out. And then you were behind me. Thankfully, you didn't catch up. But he's like, dude, you don't forget those things. I was like, no, they do. They haunt my dreams. I'm a very competitive person. And again, I'm fine with losing by half a second or a tenth of a second, because that's what it's about. What I hate is not getting the opportunity because I spin out on a curb. Like it's just the dumbest thing ever. And it happened to him at Laguna, but
Well,
so
you
I'm
have a
looking forward
fuel
to it.
strat in history with the Porsche. So I think you should redo it just the same. It worked out phenomenally last time you were here. I think that's the
Yeah,
strategy.
yeah, 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 for sure, for sure. And that would be fine. Like I would be happy with taking second place if Nismo's in ninth and Zanchin's in eighth. That's where I'd like to be sitting right now. The back injury and the remote controller on St. Croix did not do me any favors with me not qualifying and ending in eighth place. So yeah, I need to get those points back, but I'm good with it. So we're good. What else we got to talk about? Is that pretty much it? It's been a long episode already. Sunday Cup's coming up, and you're in contention. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, so yeah, I am in contention. Strangely enough in Sunday Cup. I don't really know what I did to get there either.
Is Glovis and Zen and Chaotica and Thrasher not racing in this league?
Um, you know,
Because that's the only way I see you getting up there. No offense. I
I don't
mean,
know. Let's
none
see. Let me
taken,
pull
right?
up the leaderboard here. So no, Glovis is in first. Glovis is we'll
What the
just run
hell
through
is
the Sunday
Glovis
Cup.
doing? How is he letting you in
Glovis
first
is in
place?
first with 204 points. I am in second, so I have absolutely well, no, it is three races. I mean, in theory, I could. It probably won't happen, but I'm at second with 188. Face is third with 186. Vic is fourth with 178. Then Chaotica 152. Preston 118. Thrasher 116. Zen down in eighth. Zen never is in eighth in Sunday Cup. Of course,
No, 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 no. Yeah.
he didn't participate in quite a few races. He's got 114, Dirksey 103, Rutaz 98, Siam with 88, and then Priest with 23.
So next race is safety
Safety
car,
marshals.
right? Safety marshals. Yeah, we're going a little over, but it's fine. Everyone had stopped paying attention to us a long time ago. So let's see. rule sheet for safety marshals. We've got broad bean full course. I can't remember the last time we even touched this track. So you're in the Nissan GTR.
Season 1.10, like
Exactly.
literally the first race, probably.
Probably so. And I think Zen won it with that little damn Mini Cooper
Yeah, or
another
something.
time. But so you guys are doing broad bean full course,
Hmm.
and then you've got Kyoto Miyabi,
Hmm.
and then Red Bull short track, which I like Red Bull short track.
I do too.
Yeah. And it's supposed to rain R9. I didn't know that. That'll be interesting. That'll be interesting. So what you do is you sandbag Kyoto Miyabi so you get out in front for the reverse grid order
Yeah.
uh, going into Red Bull short track. That'll be interesting. Wow. Okay. Good luck with that.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Good luck with that. Yeah, I guess while we're kind of reading through all this stuff, we're not going to go through all of this, but F1 driver roster, don't need that. I just need the leaderboard, which all of a sudden, F1 has the cleanest and prettiest um,
they do.
leaderboard out of our whole league, which
Yeah.
is unfortunate. So they're killing it with that. But right now, nothing major. Don't need time is leading here with 20 points, Coma in second with 15, Vic in third. We're not going to go through the whole board. And then just because we appreciate our folks over at ACC, we're going to give them a little shout out with Vic, Viciously Vic, um, the fourth personality of Vic, because another one showed up today, is in first. Mr. Fish is in second, Cam in third. And then in the other league for GR4, you've got Preston out in front. Not see him, no see him, not see him in second, Chaotica in third in that league. And I think that wraps up all of our leagues, to be honest. The only thing I think we really have left to talk about is the endurance race. So we are still working through the parameters of that, but the rules should be out this week. Maybe by the time you watch this, they will already be out. But we have a fun endurance race on the way. It's in cars that we rarely race in, if that'll give you any hint. None whatsoever, because there's like 1,000 cars within this game. And it's on a track that we typically don't drive on either. So that gives you zero hints for you guys to be in the know on whatsoever. What are you gonna do? Right? So I'm good. I'm ready to get to Catalunya. Let's get this ship sailed and see where we end up because it's going to be
Yes.
down to the wire for five of us. And I'm excited for that.
Probably more than five, but yes, Catalonia is up next. That'll be the final round. After that, of course, we're going to have our traditional promotion relegation race, which is sure to be another good hit. Be a lot of fun there too. So everybody practice up. When we see you again, we will know who the winner is of GT World. So
Hmm.
I'm sure we'll have a guest next time too, probably.
Yeah, we probably will. Yeah, we'll have a guest next time because it's the championship. So bring your suit jacket,
Oh yeah.
get all dolled up, and we'll
Ooh,
do
I
this
know
thing next
exactly
time.
which jacket I'm wearing too.
Oh my God. Yeah, I can't wait for you to pull this out because I've seen this jacket and it's absolutely hideous. And it's so outside of the norm of you. That's what I'll say. Is seeing you in that jacket, I was like, who the hell is this guy?
You said, who's that good looking guy up there?
I did not say that. I did not say that. Um, I've got so many pictures I want to show everybody too. So,
Send me one.
till next
Well, I
time.
won't flash it because we got to let him wait till but next episode. Send them to me for
Yeah,
next.
yeah, yeah. So, till next time, you'll see the jacket that we're talking about, and we'll have our championship races behind us. We'll know who our winners are out of each league. We already know who one of them is. Um, oh, shit. Hold on. I know we're not supposed to do this, but I went through the leaderboard of absolutely everyone. And you know who we wanted to really wait until the end, which is GT Sport. It's really all Merc's fault. He had all this set up ahead of time. So, uh, yes. So for GT Sport, Vic was out this race. No, actually, it's not even set up. Where is that one? Hold on. Vic did run this race. I have it up right here. Okay. Vic did show up and win this race. Took first place overall. He is leading with 96 points. Tex showed up, took third place in this one, and dollars per win took second. Then we move on. I can't even figure all this out because this is not sorted properly. But overall standings, Vic is in first, Tex is in second, Mr. Fish is in third. We have Priest 69 in fourth place with 44 points, Face in fifth with 41 points, Young One in fifth with 38, Manalord only 1 point behind with 37 points. Nope. Roy Mustang has 37 points. Roy Mustang has 32 points. Sorry, eighth place. Lepsky, 31 points in ninth. Max Power in 10th with 30. Siam, 11th place with 29. Sean, 15 points in 12th. Executioner, 3 points in 13th place. And Fat Max in 14th place, tied with 3 points as well. Apologies for that. We got chit-chatting, this little concoction of too much whiskey and grapefruit juice got the better of me. So apologies, but good job.
So, final round next time. We'll see everybody after that, and that'll be for we'll announce the champion. So everybody practice up, and we'll see you next episode. Night.
Later.